Good evening, guys, and welcome to Metal Planet Music. We have the entirety of Skinny Knowledge plus a very pair of pointy ears.
Yeah. Loki's joined the interview for this one.
The Norse god of mischief, I believe.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. My mate's got a husky too, and he's called Loki.
I really, I think
Yeah.
it's quite a common husky name. I think there's a there's a wolf dog on Instagram. So it's basically just like an even bigger husky, and he's called Loki. He's got like 2 million followers or something. So I think since he became like quite viral, I think loads of people started calling the huskies Loki. But he came with the name. Actually,
yeah. Is there any Loki influence in the new album released a couple of days ago?
There is actually a line in one of the songs which does talk about Loki. Yeah, in a song about lunch. The second verse is, "I even gave the dog a cheeky brunch."
And the dog is not going to turn down extra gravy bones or...
No, he's not.
So, I had my first listen to the album a couple of days ago, and it strikes me as a wee bit heavier than the first one, Andy.
Yeah, it is a little bit. It kind of took a bit of a heavier turn. It wasn't planned that way. I just think that a lot of the lyrical content and kind of what I went through, I was just feeling a bit angrier. So I think the music just kind of followed suit, I guess. It wasn't really a decision that we wanted to go heavier, but it turned out that way. So
that's kind of an organic thing. I mean, there is kind of that feeling of a bit of angst coming through in the lyrics, in the riffs. It gives it a bit of drive.
Yeah, I think it's just got it's quite exciting to listen to. It's got a lot of energy. And
play as well.
Yeah, it is. It's fun to play. We started actually. We've got our launch show in a few weeks, so we started playing kind of the entirety of the album now, and everything is just super fun to play. So looking forward to more people hearing it and to getting out and playing it as well.
Absolutely, yeah, because you've not got a massive amount of goes under your belt, have you?
No, so I mean, we only formed. When was our first gig? What, just 2.5 years ago? It was just literally just at the end of lockdown.
Yeah.
Even since then, like, we've had lineup changes. Obviously, Mike's only recently just joined. I think we've had like 2 or 3 guitarists already. We're still looking for another one because we don't really like Max that much.
Yeah.
That's hard, Max.
But no, we've but so we've kind of still gone through that like teething process of when you first kind of set up a new band. So it is still really early doors for us. We haven't gigged loads this year because we've been focusing on getting the album done.
Yeah.
So I think next year is going to be kind of the first proper go for us, really, for touring and festivals and stuff like that. Because even coming out of lockdown like last year, and so many festival lineups and stuff were still previous lineups that have been cancelled. So trying to get onto more festival lineups was really difficult. So next year I think is a bit of a clean slate, and we've got some stuff coming in, and so it's going to be hopefully a busy and good year for us.
Get a bit
But I mean, it's quite apparent, you're not within that sort of narrow fold of classic rock. You've got that alt edge. You've definitely got the punky sort of Weezer, Green Day burrow, but you're mixing it up.
Yeah, I think a lot of the kind of modern rock bands and stuff, you see all these ones in this, the new wave of classic rock, as it were.
Yeah.
We just about fit into it, but I think that we're, like you said, we've kind of got that grunge aspect and that punk aspect, that it's not just straight down the middle of the road rock.
No.
Lots of different influences and stuff, which I think kind of separates us from a lot of the other bands that are doing this kind of modern rock thing, which I think is good for us. So
yeah, absolutely. It makes you stand out in what is quite a very broad and deep field.
Yeah.
Is that kind of at the forefront when you're writing your songs?
I don't know if it's, again, I don't think it's a conscious thing. I think it's just our influences all between us are, it is varied. Like, and it does have that Green Day, Blink 182, Sum 41, but then on the other side of it, like Avenged Sevenfold or Slipknot, or
there's definitely a heavier edge there in some of the tracks.
I think that, it just kind of sucks in from all those different influences, and rather than just being like, we love Guns N' Roses and Bon Jovi. So
indeed, yeah.
But we also love Guns N' Roses and Bon Jovi. So,
That's it. I mean, we first saw you guys back at Noslight May last year, I want to say.
Yeah.
And you struck us then, very vibrant, energetic, and that most important thing, fun.
Yeah. I think that was something loads of merch.
Probably.
Yeah. I think we left a load of merch at that show. We lost like 50 jumpers or something. We don't know.
Oh, no. So Jodie's wearing a lot of skinny knowledge.
Yeah, she's flogging it off on eBay, probably. Not a lot.
With a hoodie.
Oh, bless her. So your hometown is Bournemouth, yeah?
Yeah.
There's definitely something down in the water there, because, obviously you've got your buddy South of Salem just rocketing in a minute. Do you look across and think, that's where we want to be going, that's what we aspire to take that ramp and push on?
Yeah, I'd say, like, obviously, we want to get out there as much as possible. We love gigging. The bigger the shows, the better.
Sure.
Obviously, we'd love to be headlining Wembley and Glastonbury and all of that. But just, as you say, like, it's that next step first. You look at the guys like South of Salem, SOS as well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think definitely looking at the types of shows they're playing with and the people they're playing with gives us something to aim for. So, yeah, definitely.
That's cool. Because you touched on the album launch go. Give us a few more details about that, please.
So the show is on the 17th of November. We're going to be playing the whole album in its entirety, plus some songs and stuff. So we're going to play it front to back. We've got the Stone Angels guys coming over from Brighton. We've done a show with them before, and we know James really well. So they're going to be opening up the show, and then we go on and play some music, and we're all going to get really drunk and have a good time.
Happy days. And you're looking forward to 24. One of the big announcements recently was you're part of that initial wave for next year's Love Rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your local, your hometown festival pretty much for the summer.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just up the road. It's, just out of the dual carriageway at Bournemouth, and it's there. So, I mean, I think I spoke to the organisers a couple of years ago when we first kind of started getting out and gigging. So it's just been a case of, like, a couple of years later, they've we've got the new album coming out and kind of showed a bit more of an interest. So finally managed to get on that boat, which is really cool. Ironically, I'm moving up north in January, so it's not actually going to be local for me anymore. Like 5 hours back to get here to do it. But yeah.
Oh God, yeah, what a nightmare! But hey, congratulations on that booking. It's a good one, and you've got other things lining up.
Yeah, we've got a couple of tours which are kind of in the works at the moment. We're opening up for Jack Hutchinson for his album launch in February.
Nice.
And there's a few more festivals kind of in the pipeline at the moment, obviously, which haven't been announced yet, so we can't say. But
I mean, you look back, you've played Made of Stone this year. You opened up the ERB stage. That must have been quite a buzz for you.
Yeah, that was pretty sick, to be fair, wasn't it?
That was your first show, wasn't it?
My first show with the band, and it was great. Like I say, we didn't know what to expect being on at 11:30 in the morning. We obviously were up at 5 o'clock, travelling up there. Which but actually, it was awesome, and it was great to see how many people turned up and wanted to support the first band on that day, and we had a really good reception. So we're really happy with it.
Yeah,
that's good, because that early morning slot, the graveyard slot, the hangover slot, call it what you want, it's notoriously difficult.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And I think, like Andy said, we woke them all up. So they're pretty, what the hell's all that racket?
Yeah.
what the heck?
And hopefully they were pleasantly surprised. So we had a
good. This is what we want to see. A lot more variance across the board, and I think you guys do that. We look at the album, and it starts off with that buzz soaring sort of foot stomper of "I Want to Rock and Roll," the latest single. and it just goes right the way across the board. Then going up in smoke, a song about lunch with is it an instrumental, the heavy metal into 2D or something?
Yeah, the last one. Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of energy, but I kind of guess there's a bit of personal. There's more than a degree of personal in there.
Yeah, I mean the album. I always write songs that are about stuff that I've been through. Like they're always personal experiences or feelings. I don't tend to write fictional stuff. You know, we're not Led Zeppelin or Rush singing about Vikings and demons and stuff. So, but not that that's not great.
No, of course, but everything for its place, isn't it?
Yeah. And this album in particular is the reason it's called 22 is it's because it's kind of just like a journal or a diary almost of what happened in my life during 2022.
Okay, fair. That's intriguing.
Yeah, so a few people have asked, why is it called 22? It's coming out in 23. And it's like, well, because it was about last year. So I mean, the songs are really personal. It was quite therapeutic in a way, writing a lot of these songs. And yeah, it's pretty hard hitting, but the music is still fun and it's exciting. It's still not too serious, but it is very personal, this one. The first album wasn't so much. This one, definitely, I had stuff to say, and I used this album as a way of saying it.
Yeah.
So.
And, say in 5 years' time, you can look back on that with a huge slab of satisfaction. I told my story of that year.
Yeah.
I got it out there. That I think that's a really good way of looking at it.
Yeah, the other thing, although it's personal for you and your personal experiences, it's anyone can kind of relate to it. Anyone who's been through a breakup or had a toxic relationship or anything like that can listen to it and relate in some degree. So as you said, with it being sort of real life experiences as opposed to fairy tales and dragons and stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully people will connect with it a bit more as well.
Yeah, it's written in a way that it's personal, but like you said, it's a way that other people can still think, oh, I felt like that, or I've experienced this, or I've been down and feeling crap about myself and just want to go out and party. So that's, it's written in that kind of sense that people can take what they want from it as and when and kind of get on board with it all.
Yeah. And there's a guy called Matt Bigland that was quite heavily involved with part of the producing stroke writing side, I understand.
Yeah, it was just the writing side of it.
Okay.
I reached out to him last year. So his band Dinosaur Pileup are quite a big influence on us anyway. So I reached out and because I wasn't really motivated to do anything. So I kind of thought, well, if I involve someone else in it, it might kind of bring a bit of a spark to the whole thing. And so we wrote Going Up in Smoke first, beginning of last year or middle of last year, and then ended up writing, I think, 5 songs on the album together, which was really cool. Like, obviously, I think he's great. Like, he's an idol of mine in terms of songwriting. So I really appreciated him kind of taking the time to write with me, and I learned a lot. And, I respect him so much that I knew that, what we were going to write together was going to come out being great. So we're kind of pleasantly surprised. And, and it kind of suits the album. I think we've got similar influences, like me and him, we love like Foo Fighters and Nirvana and Royal Blood, these kind of bands. So I knew it was going to kind of work quite well. And he's also a multi-instrumentalist, like the first Dinosaur Pileup album he did on his own, like I did with the first Skinny album. It was kind of, we kind of clicked on those levels, which was kind of cool. So it was really easy to work with him, and the result has been pretty good, I'd say.
I'm suitably impressed. I just first listened a couple of nights ago, as I said, and like this is it's just got that edge. It's got something where you get the hook, but you're taken somewhere away from the main road, so to speak, down the middle.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, what are your ambitions for next year? You've got the festival. Is there you lining up to break out of Bournemouth and the region?
We like being yes men. That's that's who we are as people. You know, we won't say no to anything. You know, if there's opportunities abroad, if there's opportunities up north, you know,
Thursday night in Grimsby, we're there.
Yeah, we'll do anything. You know,
I mean, Max will literally do anything
yeah.
for a fiver.
I'm known for it. So.
That's why he's in the band. He'll do anything.
Yeah.
I'll do
Fair play, fair play. You can't say better than that, can you?
We sell them on the merch stand each night.
Yeah.
I
What's the reception been to the new album?
It's been pretty positive so far. Yeah. Obviously it hasn't been out very long, like a couple of days or so. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of reviews are going to start coming in next week, which is cool. But I mean, the singles so far have all been really well received, which is always a good sign because hopefully the album can follow suit with that. So yeah, it's all been positive. 2 of the tracks have been on classic rock tracks of the week, and yeah, so just we're looking forward to seeing what everyone else thinks of it. It's always nice to hear that you're doing something right. So
because you mentioned the other singles, there was Disobey, wasn't it, and Comes Around.
Yeah, it goes around,
comes around, wasn't it? Which was that was pretty spiky from the first single.
Yeah, I remember sending it to my dad, and I said to him, because obviously he knows everything that I went through, and I sent it to him, and I said, "This is going to be the first single off the album," and he was like, "Is that such a good idea?" And I said, "Exactly for that reason, yes."
It struck me from an unknown perspective as here's a massive 2-fingered salute.
Well, a big fuck you, definitely song.
Yeah. we appreciate big fuck yous here at MTN.
Yeah,
we're all about that.
It's definitely the hardest hitting one on the album lyrically, and I was just so ready to get it out there. I was like, it has to be the first song.
Yeah. That's great, and it's led us into the release of the album, as we've said, and you've now got that springboard for next year, guys.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It's going to open up some new doors for us and some new adventures, and yeah, as I said, we're really excited about it, and hopefully other people are going to hear it and be excited about it and want to come and see us. And yeah, so hopefully next year is going to be a big push for us.
Yeah. So let's raise our glasses to 24. Skinny Knowledge. Congratulations, guys, on the release.
Thank you very much.
No problems.